Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Protect your data from prying eyes at expressvpn.com/watchchad. It's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. I'm joined in Studio 22, the mothership, by all my, as Alan West would say, chuckleheads. Chuckleheads. Puppet Master Mark Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians. It's funny, I talked to my mother on the phone yesterday, Candice, and she always refers to you literally as Candice. She's like, that Candice is so smart. And I'm like, really? Aww, not her name.
Thank you. I always enjoy hearing your comments from your mother. I wish we could have her in studio soon.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the update. Yeah. I called her yesterday, and I said, I will come to Georgia. I will pick you up, and I will drive you. I'll drive you back. I said, but I want you to stay for a month. She's like, oh, I can't stay for a month. And I said, well, you can stay for a couple of weeks. And she goes, well, I'm sleeping a lot right now. And I said, well, I got a bed for you. So
all taken care of.
She's mad at me now for telling her business if she's watching the show.
But here's the loophole. Yeah. You can say, I want her to be on the podcast.
See there?
It's a request from me.
Candice, straight from
for her to travel via vehicle, car, train, automobile to Texas to be on the podcast.
Throw mama from the train.
There you go.
No, but here's what she said. She said, now, I'm not coming on your show. And I said, of course you are.
I'll talk to her.
Absolutely, you're coming on the show. You're going to do it. And she said, nope. And I said, listen, there are so many people now at the studio who are demanding, asking, requesting.
Petitions.
Yeah, people are put it in writing.
Picket lines.
We're going to have a studio audience, Mom. She goes, I don't know what to say. I'm like, Mom, you've never been at a loss for words. There's a reason I am the way I am, and it's because of Gloria.
And we have questions.
Yeah. Hot news, Natalie. Party Foul Steve in the pub. You're like, why is Natalie in the pub? It's because we've got a very special guest, of course, our buddy, our favorite Force Recon Marine, Chad Robichaux, is in the house. Mighty Oaks Foundation. We got a big announcement we're going to make today. We don't want to do it yet, but we got a big announcement, and you're going to hear it here first, which is exciting. First of all, how are you?
I'm doing really well.
That's good.
Really well. In town to see you and then see my friend Alan.
It's not in that order. You can tell the truth, Chad. Alan West, good politician, never lets a crisis go. Never wastes a good crisis. He did everything he could to pull a Joe Biden and peel the blackness off of his skin by connecting with the asphalt off of his motorcycle the other day. And I'm so glad he's going to be okay. Yeah.
And he did dodge the Clinton body count.
He dodged the Clinton body count. I put that on Twitter. He put that video of himself off. It kind of reminded me of somebody wearing a skull halo, and like in the body cast, and he was like, you didn't, I'm still here.
You didn't get me yet, yeah.
And I commented on the thing. I said, I told you not to put take Hillary Clinton off the Christmas card list. But Alan, what did you say
he
was saying?
Said in an interview, I heard him the other day, he said, as they were peeling me off the pavement, and I was like, I told my buddies, if I die, tell them it's not COVID-19. I didn't die from COVID-19. So, good attitude.
Yeah. But you texted me the other day, and you said that Alan had sent you a message, and you and your wife decided to jump on a plane and come out.
Yep.
So,
Alan's
a good dude.
He's a good man. He's a good man. He ended up, instead of flowers, wanted all the support that people were sending his way to go to Mighty Oaks Foundation, which our foundation, we appreciate, and I think that's just amazing. That's amazing to get that support, but it just shows like who he is. That even in that lowest moment, that he cares more about other people than himself, and is using to help other people.
Scared me. I found out about it. We were still down in Austin after doing that rally together, and someone sent me a message on Instagram. Well, I immediately sent a text message to Lisa Hendrickson because the Instagram message was so ominous.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh God, is he? Is he okay?" And I was worried. Immediately started praying.
Yeah,
and it was one of those things where, thank God, Lisa texted back and she said, "Look, he's stable.
Right.
It's rough, but he's stable." And so, but the money they raised, and I don't know exactly how much they raised, but you guys are able to take a veteran through your program at Mighty Oaks for what, $2,500, $2,600 for the week?
$2,500 to get them through our program, and I think we're creeping up on about $10,000 that people that want, instead of giving flowers to Alan West, they supported Mighty Oaks by his request, and so that's four veterans we could save their lives because He didn't need,
Alan
he
tried
didn't
to
need
give
flowers.
his. He's probably going to want to come on the show now.
He's not a flower guy anyway.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid Alan from coming on again, but he's probably going to want to come talk about it. And...
He just makes every time you sit down with him, you just feel dumber.
No, I know, because there are a few people who are like that. You know, Josh Hammer with, you know, he's a contributor here, and you know, used to be with Daily Wire. Every time he's always quoting like law cases and legal precedents. Alan's the same way. He's always quoting some obscure historic figure and what they said down in Matamoros, Mexico, back in 1888 or something. Exactly.
I was on Dave Rubin on the Rubin Report, and Alan and I were together. We were guests together on the show, and we were talking about national security. And as Dave Rubin is just a huge brain, and Alan are talking, I'm just like sinking in my chair, wanting to get under the cameras and escape. And Dave turns to me like,
over there going, "You want to feel how hard I can punch?"
Yeah, just kill her.
That's the way I would be.
Yeah, national security would just kill everybody.
Yeah, let her rip. Hey, listen. In addition to their generous support of Mercury One, Patriot Mobile has gone above and beyond to help Americans stay in touch with loved ones during this difficult time by lowering their prices even further. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design your customized family plan, starting at only $25. Listen, Patriot Mobile shares your values. They're never going to charge you hidden fees. Unlike the big mobile companies you're using right now, they're not going to send your hard-earned money to Planned Parenthood or a bunch of other leftist causes, because guess what? They do. You can get the same reliable nationwide service and support the company that shares your values, supports our Constitution, and puts people before profits. Switching over is easy. Keep your phone number. You can bring your own phone, or you can get a new one. Right now, when you join their family of freedom-loving Americans, they will waive your activation, plus send you a free gift with the offer code CHAD. That's right. CHAD, Chad. Call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT, or visit patriotmobile.com/Chad. Get your customized family plan today, starting at just $25. 972-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Chad. We'll be right back. Big announcement. Mighty Oaks Foundation, great organization. You guys, for lack of better terms, you foot the bill. I mean, when you bring guys out there, there's really not many organizations out there that I've come across who take folks and give them what they need. And it's an ongoing support system that's there because you build such a community. Yeah. But they're not having to come out of, these veterans aren't having to come out of their pocket to come out there and spend a week with you guys.
Never once since we started, since day one, have we ever charged a veteran for anything. Yeah. Not only do we provide the programming for free, but we take out the biggest obstacle that many veterans and active duty service members and families would face to come to a program like Mighty Oaks. We cover all the travel. Yeah. And flights are expensive, and we're able to do that just through the support of Grateful Nation that loves their warriors. Yeah. And helps them get them.
How is this whole shutdown thing and all that? Has it affected what you guys are doing? How is it affecting you?
It's greatly affected the veteran community and the healthcare, particularly the mental health care in the veteran community. Yeah. For example, Mighty Oaks, we run 30 camps a year where we bring veterans, active duty military members, veterans, and their family members to our ranches. We have 4 ranches in California, Ohio, Virginia, and Texas. So we fly them there for a week. And right when this COVID thing went down, all 4 of our ranches closed because of the state restrictions. And apparently helping people that want to take their lives it wasn't essential. And crazy. So this really frustrated the veterans in the community. We had so many guys. We have over 1,000 people that were waiting to come to our programs. On waiting lists to come, and we had them scheduled to come, and we had to shut down. We immediately stood up a virtual program. I'm super proud of our team, Brandon Kunith, and all of our programs team who stood up a virtual program. So we start running classes and sessions online, just like we would during the week, but it's not in person. It's not the same. We all know that. And then you look across outside of Mighty Oaks Foundation, the VA did this too. I've talked to inside the VA to clinical healthcare providers who said, hey, we were making headway with these warriors, and then we're not allowed to meet them anymore. So mental health care providers in the VA are not allowed to meet on one-on-one basis with people who are having suicidal ideations, depressed, anxiety, all these things that they're struggling with. They have to meet over the phone, or they have a Zoom account. Yeah. That the VA has like this Zoom type of account. And I was just on the phone with a commander, I won't say the unit, but a commander of a special operations unit yesterday, and he said they had 4 suicides in the last 2 months, and these were all guys that were going to mental health on base, and those programs were shut down. They couldn't go see their mental health providers anymore, and so a direct result for the people that were going to ongoing mental health care on active duty took their lives. These guys didn't care about catching a cold or the COVID. They cared about not killing themselves.
They were in a death sentence anyway.
They needed help. Yeah. I mean, that's the people we have coming to our program. Catching the COVID is the last thing they care about.
Yeah.
They're trying to decide whether they want to live
Willing
or die.
to take the risk. See,
That's
that
right.
pisses me off, man. It makes me so mad, Chad.
And we're opening back up, but we have to open back up at like partial capacity. So, for example, our ranch in California, we're going to open it back up next month, but we're probably going to be able to open it back up at only 25%. And we can't have these restrictions on us to operate the way we operate.
And the last thing you would think that these guys and gals need is to lose the sense of community and to be isolated. Where they're alone with their thoughts. And I don't want to be.
No.
Right?
Anybody that's ever been in mental health before, and I think it's just common sense to know, like, when someone's struggling with suicide, anxiety, depression, hopelessness, the first thing you tell them is not to isolate themselves. Yeah. That's the first thing you say. Don't isolate yourself. The number one killer of veterans is and the cause of veteran suicide that transition to isolation. Mm-hmm. And so now we're telling them to isolate. Stay at home, lock yourself down, don't interact with other people. That's the worst thing you can do to somebody with mental health. And I mean, we've seen, I can't say the stats, but we've definitely seen in our network and community an uptick in suicide over the last 10 weeks. Yeah. And I mean, I don't think the report will ever come out because no one wants to admit what happened in the last 10 weeks. But I can assure you that programs like Mighty Oaks that hadn't been able to function the way we normally function, all these other amazing veteran service organizations that help our warriors, the mental health programs in the VA, the mental health programs in the Department of Defense, all these programs, the result of it would be just disgusting to look at how many veterans taking their lives because of it.
Should have been essential.
Yeah.
That should have been essential.
Right,
hands
essential,
down.
right?
100%.
That's
I mean,
essential.
if liquor stores and Planned Parenthood and Walmart's essential, then
Correct.
Then mental health care should be essential.
Yeah, hey guys, we can't give you mental health care, but we can get you drunk. You know, we can get you drowned in your sorrows with this depressant called alcohol. It just makes me so mad, dude. And I hear those stories because not only from you, but serving on the board of American Valor with the Chris Kyle family, parents and Jeff Kyle and just that crew of people. And, our mission is to serve those who have served us, which was, of course, Chris's motto and his mission. And we work to kind of, we've worked with you guys trying to, we try to come underneath and help other foundations that are out there working. And we hear these stories. The
Kyle family and you have supported Mighty Oaks and effort and scholarship guys in our program. So,
well, every year we have a board meeting, and I always say, hey, I mean, since I've been on the board, and I said, Mighty Oaks, if we've got money, because we try to give the money away. Like, if money comes into us, but then we have these individuals that we've helped, and then we find out, a year later that they committed suicide and just lost that battle, and it's disheartening. Yeah. It's heartbreaking. And so, whether it's the VA or you guys, and it's MightyOaksFoundation.org, right?
MightyOaksPrograms.org.
Programs.
Yeah. Either one will get you there.
Yeah. Yeah. You can Google Mighty Oaks Foundation. That's where it's going to go.
That's where it's going to go, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see this ugly mug right here. What was it they were saying when you were on Dave Rubin's show? They were like, dude, the mirrors.
Yeah, it was the greatest
never
comment.
say it to your
It was the
face.
greatest comment. I'm talking about like my battle with suicide and depression and anxiety during my lowest time of my life. And somebody comments like, if I looked in the mirror and ears like that, I'd want to kill myself too. It was the best comment. I was like, oh man, this guy wins the internet.
I know. Yeah, it's not something you'd say to an MMA world champ though, to his face.
He did say it on the internet.
Yeah.
It was a keyboard comment, but
you guys been
I would love it in person too.
Have y'all been sneaking around doing some jiu-jitsu and wrestling on the mat a little bit?
We've had an underground. We had like a true Brad Pitt fight club going on.
Yeah.
Like here's the location, the time. Don't tell anyone. Come. We don't go in the front door. We go in the back door. Yeah.
It's always sounds weird when you got guys
it's over
on the
now.
ground with each other.
We can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. I'm not gonna say no one died, but
no, I know. But I've been keeping up with you through various pictures and stuff. And your son, of course, who was deployed to Afghanistan, he's back home.
He's back. Yeah, he did his deployment to Afghanistan, which he made the 3rd generation combat veteran Marine. My father was infantry Marine in Vietnam, and then of course me in Afghanistan and for 8 deployments, and then my son Hunter did a deployment in Afghanistan, which is crazy because I would have never thought maybe in Afghanistan, my kid would go there.
Yeah.
But he went, and he was at 3rd Anglico as a forward air controller and called in fire support with the Georgians. So he's embedded with the Georgians.
Yeah.
They had actually a pretty kinetic combat deployment, so he got some good experience.
I remember watching. And every time I see him, it's like a little robo. You know, he's like,
looks
you
like
spit
me.
him right out of your mouth. And it's funny because I was watching the video that you had posted of him out there in the sand, and he was doing a match with was it a Russian guy? Or
Yeah, Georgian.
Georgian.
The Georgian like national judo champion, who's like 80 pounds bigger than him, and none of the Marines wanted to. It was on their not like their 4th of July, their Independence Day,
Right.
And so they wanted to do some judo because judo's big in Georgia, and not Georgia where
The
you're
country.
from. The country, Georgia.
The country.
Yeah, I don't think judo's big in Georgia where you're from.
It means something completely
But yeah,
different.
he stepped up. Guy was
Macrame.
like 80 pounds bigger than him, and he did some good wrestling with the guy, and then he got tossed.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But
He
I
was
proud
in
of
there,
him.
though.
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah.
Scrappy, dude. I don't know. Man, you guys, y'all make me tired just watching you. It's ridiculous.
Well, I just invited you before the show started. We're gonna get you
in one ear and out the other, bro.
we'll get you some man pajamas and a gi, and we're gonna get on the ground to wrestle.
All right. I mean, fine. Go ahead and turn me to the other side. Whatever. Now people want a rainbow something.
That could be your new workout.
It's a good workout.
I got to do something. I have no accountability. I have Party Foul Steve. And I mean, you want to talk about a physical specimen. Look at this guy. I have no accountability.
My COVID-15's now up to COVID-17.
Yeah. Have you gained weight through it all? Yeah, but I've gained real weight.
I can still fit in my pants though. So
Well, I mean, I can too if I inhale
Tight.
enough.
Yep.
If I lay down and button them. That's funny stuff. But you feel like, how long do you think it's going to be before you guys can come back full capacity? Any way of knowing?
I don't think there's any way of knowing because every state is responding differently, and so we're a national program.
Yeah.
And so I mean, right now we're just adapting. So we can't have as many people in a session, so we're just gonna have more sessions.
Yeah.
And so we're going to Montana next month. Normally we use just our 4 ranches. We're partnering with a ranch in Wise River. It's called the Freedom Ranch, and great people there. And they're not running their programs because their programs aren't able to run right now, and so they have this ranch. So we're gonna go there and run our programs there. So we're just gonna do more programs, more frequent, and it's gonna be tougher on our staff.
Yeah.
But it's worth it to us because we know we're in the business of saving lives.
Yeah.
And so,
Everybody watching or listening to this needs to get into the business of saving lives too, and you can do it with Mighty Oaks. MightyOaksPrograms.org. You can go over there. Make sure you're donating. Make sure you're giving, and you can set up a monthly recurring payment with them, which is great. I mean, it's something as simple as $25, and you do that, and it's amazing how far you guys are able to make that go. And stretch it out, you know.
yeah. Well, I mean, we do several programs. We have a resiliency program where I travel to bases, active duty bases around the world, and I've spoken to about 150,000 active duty troops in doing those resiliency events, talking about resiliency, combat resiliency, spiritual resiliency, veteran suicide like ideations, and what the guys are struggling with, PTSD, things like that, and of those 150,000 troops I've spoken to, we've written several books. I've written several books, and we've given away books at these events. I've given away over 100,000 copies of my books.
And
so
we've done the same. You've sent us books, and we've done it at our shows.
Yeah.
Our, understanding PTSD, and then your book as well. And we've made great profit off your free books, man.
Yeah.
No, we've given a ton of them away, man, because it's an important deal for us. I told you guys, and I promise you, we got a big announcement. We're going to do it in the next segment. But before that, I want to remind everybody, technology's improved, just about everything, phones, cars, shopping. Mattresses, unfortunately, they've been the same since the invention of sleep. You deserve better. We deserve better. I had to do something about my situation, so I got a new mattress. The mattress has evolved thanks to Purple. The secret to Purple is the Purple Grid. It's patented comfort technology that instantly adapts to your body's natural shape and sleep style. Purple is for every body, no matter how you sleep. Purple is designed with over 2,800 open air channels and naturally temperature neutral gel. I was laying on it the other night and I was like, am I cool? I feel good. This is nice. Because I never think about I'm laying on air holes. I'm laying on these little the gel stuff that breathes. It's nice. So you never sleep too hot. You never sleep too cold. The Purple mattress is soft where you want it. It's firm where you need it, comfortably cool all over. Truly a mattress that does it all. So you can count on resting easy night after night, year after year, because the ultra-durable Purple grid won't sink or lose shape. Purple is so confident in what they do that every Purple mattress comes with free shipping and returns and a risk-free 100-night trial experience. I don't know that I'd want a mattress after Steve slept on it for 100 nights.
Yeah, you would.
Steve would test the grids, I can tell you that. So you got nothing to lose. Go to purple.com/watchchad. Use promo code watchchad. For a limited time, you're going to get $150 off any order of $1,500 or more. That's purple.com/watchchad. Promo code watchchad. $150 off any mattress order for that's of $1,500 or more. Terms apply. We'll be right back. Chad Robichaux, founder of Mighty Oaks Foundation. Have you missed being out and about speaking to churches and groups? And
I have. I tell you what, I really missed. I love traveling around the country and speaking at churches and corporate events to talk about veterans issues. But what I miss most is going on base and speaking to active duty troops. Because I know the impact it makes, and the resiliency events like we were just talking about. And I had about in the last 10 weeks about 10 events on bases speaking to troops. That I couldn't do that. I go to Marine Corps boot camp every quarter and speak to all the brand new Marines about resiliency and how to be ready to be combat ready Marines and resilient to the things that they're going to face on the battlefield. And I've been able to do that for 5 years now, and speaking to tens of thousands of those kids. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 events have been canceled. And so it's just it just really breaks my heart to be able to do that. And then last Memorial Day weekend, one of the things that I think helps me every Memorial Day weekend, I'm wearing Foster Harrington, and we served together for 10 years, and he was killed in our first deployment. Just an amazing guy, one of my best friends in life. And guys like Foster and RJ and Michael and Rich, guys that were really close to me that died in combat, that I get to go out every Memorial Day for the last 8 years and tell their story. Mm-hmm. And tell them about their lives and what they died for and the freedoms that we have because they paid that ultimate price. And this last Memorial Day weekend, I had like 7 or 8 events scheduled to speak throughout the weekend, and I didn't realize, but for the last 8 years I've been doing that, and that's how probably helpful it is to me personally to help get through that weekend and be able to look at that weekend instead of sad, look at the weekend and be happy and celebrate their lives. And last weekend I couldn't travel and speak, and that was actually tough for me. Yeah.
My mother, she'll call me up, and we were laughing about this earlier. My mother, she's like, "You need to be humble like Chad Robichaux." I'm like, I'm pretty humble, Mom.
I thought she didn't say it like that.
Yeah.
Robichaux.
Robichaux or Robichaux.
Robichaux, yeah.
Robichaux is how she normally says it. She'll get mad at me for telling y'all that, but you'll live, Mom. You get to come on the show, and you can defend yourself all you want.
That's right.
Throw down that gauntlet. We'd have a whole week of episodes with her.
Fans demand it.
But I've done numerous events with you. I've done some of your stuff. We've been around each other. We've hung out a little bit. And, you are the real deal. I mean, Chad Robichaux is the real deal. Because when I hear your story,
right,
and I know what you have done in life, and you guys need to get his book or go back and watch an old episode we did together where you told a lot of that. I'm like, I don't see that in this guy. I mean, you've lived a transformation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and so that's...
It's that passive aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where
when the hammer drops.
Thank God for God's grace, but sometimes that grace gets a little thin.
Yeah.
No. But do you think that the shutdown and everything, I'll put it this way. I know for me, it's kind of slowed me down to focus on some other things that I didn't think were coming. You've had something that's come along.
Yeah. That's
big for you, and I want everybody to know what's going on with your life.
Well, the not traveling has really helped me transition. So 2 things up before I get to what you were talking about. One is we by request of the White House and Congress, we formed the FBVSA, which is the Faith-Based Veteran Service Alliance, taking organizations like Mighty Oaks and bringing them together to collaborate, to work together and make sure we cover a holistic approach to veterans care. and then to ensure that the faith-based organizations are included in the mix when it comes to VSOs, veteran service organizations that are working with the Department of Defense and with the Veterans Administration, and so providing oversight for the VA to implement some of these executive orders that are amazing. President Trump is signing executive orders to bring faith and programming back into the VA and the DoD.
So you're
sure
telling
that's
me
happening.
that crazy billionaire playboy Donald Trump,
Yep.
who's such an evil, horrendous person, is signing executive orders to bring faith-based programs back into the VA?
So in 2001, this is where it started. President Bush signed an executive order for the Opportunity and Faith Initiative that allow faith-based nonprofits to work with the government entities for healthcare. And actually took off in the VA and made the Office of Faith-Based and Community Alternative Programs, and it was flourishing. By no surprise, in 2009, President Obama signed an executive order to defund that. And so at that point, when President Obama signed that executive order, the Office of Faith and Opportunity Initiative within the VA went unstaffed, unfunded, and it died. And 100% of the programming went clinical. Billions of dollars spent on 1,500 clinical programs, and the suicide rate got worse. It went from 16 to 22 a day. So it total failed under Obama administration. So in 2016, I had the opportunity to sit before candidate Trump. I was selected as one of 6 veterans that got to talk to him in a town hall, and I had the opportunity to ask one question. The most important question to me was, if you become president of the United States, will you allow faith programming to come back into the VA and DoD? And he said yes. And when he said yes, I expected him to sign an executive order to overturn what President Obama did, and he actually kept his word, and he did that. In 2018, he signed an executive order bringing back the Opportunity and Faith Initiative, so putting policy in place to where faith-based programming come back into the VA and DoD, and not impose it on our veterans, but give them a choice. Like, I could choose between mental health, physical rehab, spiritual care, or community programs. They have a choice again. And so we're part of, the FBVSA is part of making sure that actually happens, gets implemented by Secretary Wilkie and the Veterans Administration, and just providing oversight and just counsel and wisdom from the experience that we have, from the successes that we've had.
Yeah. See, if you were on The View, everybody'd be clapping right now. Yeah, see, good for you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, that's huge stuff.
It's huge. I mean, and this leads me to the next thing which you asked is I just feel like right now we're at a time where we're facing this 2020 election, and for me, and where I serve the veteran community and the lives of the people that I have a responsibility to impact, and the work that I do, is critical that President Trump remains in office. If any other reason besides the policies that he's put in place, the actions that he's taken. I mean, you measure a person not by what they say on the campaign, you measure a person by their actions. Yeah. And President Trump has proven to be a man of his word when it comes to policy, and a person of action. And I could tell you that thousands of veterans' lives have been saved because of the actions he's taken. And clearly the man cares and loves our military warriors. He loves the veterans. And his actions have resulted in policy that allows me to do what I do every day in the work that we do to save veterans' lives, restore their families, and change their legacies for eternity. Yeah. And so I was asked by the campaign to come on as a surrogate speaker for the campaign in 2020, and to be a national board member for the Veterans Coalition for Trump. And I really thought about it. I mean, this is something that I really had to think about, because I serve in a nonprofit space as the founder and chairman, or founder and president of Mighty Oaks Foundation, and I'm also now the chairman of the Faith-Based Veteran Service Alliance, which is it's a nonprofit. Yeah. And so, of course, there's a line I have to be careful with campaigning, and but I just felt that I felt obligated to do this, because it's so important and so critical to the veterans who are on active duty and in the veteran community and the families, that they get the care they deserve. And I know that the only person for the job for that right now is President Trump. I mean, look, Joe Biden, you can love him or hate him, but the track record shows he was the vice president of the United States for 8 years. And during that 8 years, the DOD, got the least funding they ever got in the Department of Defense. And then in the Veterans Administration, policies were put in place that harmed, and I believe that took lives of the veterans. I mean, they stopped faith-based treatments and community treatments and switched completely to clinical. That costed hundreds of thousands of veterans' lives.
That right there is all the campaign speech you need. I mean, if that doesn't convince you right there to vote Donald Trump in 2020, I mean, that's the deal. Hang on, I want to talk more about that. First, SAT, ACT, often thought of as simply inconvenient tests that students have to give up a Saturday to take a few times junior, senior year. Look, the reality, however, is that the SAT and ACT are the two most powerful forces driving curriculum in the United States today. High-stakes tests like the SAT and ACT drive instruction and curriculum, and there is no question that the College Board, who owns the SAT, it's a far-left organization. Just last year, the College Board and students reading Bernie Sanders op-eds on the SAT. It's ridiculous. The good news is that there's a new company taking on the SAT and the ACT. It's called the Classic Learning Test, or the CLT. It's been around for just over 4 years. It's already been adopted by more than 200 colleges. Nearly every college will now consider CLT scores at least as a supplemental component of an application. The CLT is shorter than the SAT and the ACT, and students now take it from the comfort of their own home through remote proctoring technology. The final CLT of the year, June 20th, is coming quickly, so you need to hurry up and sign up. The SAT and the ACT, they're canceled. The demand for the CLT has been so high for the seats on the June 20th CLT, they've gotten very limited. Currently, there's less than 8,000 seats remaining, so you need to sign up now. If you know a high schooler or have one yourself, don't miss out. Save your seat and register today. Hundreds of colleges already offering tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships for CLT scores. So I want you to go and register for that June 20th official college entrance exam. Visit cltexam.com. Listen, this is important, especially in these days when a lot of people are having to stay at home. You can do this from the comfort of your own home. Remote proctoring, cltexam.com. Register today. We'll be right back. You bring up a good point. During the break, you were talking about Joe Biden. I mean, here's a guy. You're talking about the leader of the free world, but you're talking about the commander-in-chief of the armed forces in the United States of America. Where's Joe Biden been as a candidate? He's been down in his basement.
Yeah, he's been in his bunker for 10.5 weeks. And, I mean, I appreciate him and his wife coming out for Memorial Day. I mean,
all masked up.
All masked up, yeah. I mean, can't knock a guy for doing that, but the fact is, that was the first time he came out of his bunker in 10.5 weeks, but yet he wants to be the commander-in-chief and the lead, like you said, the leader of the free world. And I mean, I could tell you, being in special operations in Afghanistan, I never expected a general to come on the front line, to come behind enemy lines, to come, work with us in the battlefield. They don't need to put themselves at that kind of risk. But when one comes out to see the troops, puts themselves in harm's way, you're like, I freaking respect that guy. Like, he didn't have to be here. Yeah. But he's here to motivate us, encourage us, and you want to fight for that guy like hell yeah, like you want to be able to go out and I mean, that's what we look for in a leader. And right now, some people are worried about this COVID thing. I don't think you and I share that sentiment, but some people are still scared about it. And if he still needs to get out there and interact with the people if he wants to be president. And he's not doing it. I mean, meanwhile, you got President Trump out there high-fiving people.
And he's a germaphobe.
He's like,
but he's still out there doing it.
He's like slamming malaria medicine to test it for us. I mean, he's out there. Yeah, he's out there just with the people, and that's where he belongs, and that's where leaders belong. Yeah. And if Joe Biden wants to be a leader, he needs to climb out of his basement and get on the campaign trail.
Yeah, step out. I mean, Trump's out there every day. At least he has been doing those press briefings and stuff. Now he's got Kaley McKenna on there, who I have a massive crush on.
Who doesn't?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I do.
Girl.
She's a beast.
She is a beast, dude.
Anytime you hear her say, "I'm glad you asked that question,"
I
just like popcorn.
You about to get your butt handed to you. I got some slides. I want to show you. You can direct your attention to the screen.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Or somebody he asked the question again because he didn't like the answer, and she's like, "You can keep asking that question, but that's showing your ignorance."
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Jade brought that up. She said, she said, I was watching your girlfriend on TV, and I was like, so was I. So was I. But the girl before her, and I can't even think of her name. I didn't think I could love anybody more than Sarah Sanders.
Right.
And then this girl comes along. But, the girl in between, she never had an official press briefing.
No.
That's why nobody ever really got a chance to know who she was, and I can't think of her name. But anyway, that's it. Kaley McKenna came on, and I love it when people, and I'm making a point with this, I love it when people who know their stuff are able to step into
Yes.
the spotlight and use their voice. That's the beauty of Mighty Oaks. You have veterans taking veterans through the program.
Yes.
And now you have been tasked as a veteran, somebody who has been there and done the stuff, breathed the air, the blood, sweat, and tears of all of it. You're the one speaking into this. It's not somebody, like you said, who's at 30,000 feet giving some macro level.
That's why, I was saying earlier, I just feel when I was asked about a campaign to do this, like I said, I thought about it, prayed about it, and I just felt the obligation because I feel uniquely qualified. And I don't say that out of any kind of arrogance at all. I agree with your mom. I try to be humble. But
there you go, Gloria.
I just know, like, I'm in the trenches.
Yeah.
I see what these guys are struggling with. I was there. I was in that closet with a pistol in my hand, not wanting to live anymore. I've been there, and I've seen the programs that worked for me personally, and I've seen the ones that failed me, and failed me and my family. And then I've seen these guys, by the thousands of guys over the 10 years I've been doing this, the programs that work for them, the clinical programs that have and have not worked for them, and the faith programs that have provided so much success and so much hope to these guys. And we have we're not just saying this out of theory. We have third-party independent doctoral studies that show the data that we've had just tremendous success, and we're not the only organization that has that. It's the FBVSA, and if you guys definitely go check out fbvsa.org. But FBVSA has a multitude.
You're saying Foxtrot, Bravo, Victor, Alpha.org.
That's right. Faith-Based Veteran Service Alliance.
Gotcha.
FBVSA.org. Go check it out. You'll see a multitude of organizations, and we're going to be having hundreds of organizations join now that the White House and Congress has partnered with us on this. But I get to see the results of the success of this, and what I've seen is me running this organization under the Obama administration with Vice President Biden.
Yeah.
At the helm. And the failures of the VA during that time and the DOD to care for our warriors. And then I've seen a complete 180 when President Trump took office.
Yeah.
And I have an obligation to come up from the trenches and use my voice to tell people what I've seen.
Yeah.
And how critical it is that he remains in office.
There's a lot of people who watch and listen to this show, and I know you pray because we talk about that. We do it in the little live chat and stuff. Pray for Chad. He's got a big task on his shoulders, not with one organization, with two, and he's already had a lot going on with Mighty Oaks. Let me put it in perspective for everybody this way. Every now and then people, because I go to counseling, I have a nurse practitioner for my brain that's great because I'm crazy. And, I've been to therapists over the years, and I've been to people that they read a book and they printed something off the internet and they hung it on their wall and called themselves a therapist or a counselor. Or, I go to a nurse practitioner who helps me a lot. And the guy that I go to, he's been there. He's seen it. He's done it himself, He's a guy who I can relate to. He's a whiskey drinker. He's got a big, long beard. He's all tatted up down to his wrists. And, like, when we talk, it's a real talk, and because he's been there. And I can relate to this guy. You wouldn't choose a surgeon the way you choose a mental health professional.
No.
You would make sure that if I had to reattach that bicep right there, I made sure that I had the best guy in the area that works on upper extremities, and that's who did the job.
Right.
But we just go hodgepodge, willy-nilly into mental health.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of what you guys do. You're pros.
Yeah, I mean, we're non-clinical, and I'm not against clinical. I think there's a very real need for clinical care.
Yeah.
We're just not trying to replicate that.
Yep.
So we're non-clinical, we're faith-based, and we're peer-to-peer mentors. So we do peer-to-peer, meaning all of our instructors and all of our mentors, they're very well trained. We have our own 6-month training pipeline to train these guys, but they come from a place of experience. They're able to share their personal story, and we get them from our program. They went through our program, they graduated. So these guys who've been to combat, came home, struggled, fell on their face, but they got back up again, and they found a way forward. Maybe they hadn't arrived where they want to arrive, but they're heading in the right direction, and they were able to say, hey, this is where I'm going, why don't you come with me? Yeah. And share the lessons of how they're moving forward. And we've had tremendous success in doing that. I mean, when we get guys, like a lot of times, it's not a lot of times, most of the time, they have been through several clinical programs that have failed them, and they're at the end of their road. I've heard so many times, like, when I came to Mighty Oaks, it was like, what do I have to lose? If this week works, then great. If not, I'm done at the end of the week. And it's at the end of the road when they get us, but we get them. But we've had 3,600 graduates from our core program, our legacy program, the week camp that we have, and we've had one suicide of those 3,600 graduates.
Wow.
And so, and these are not, like apples to apples, like the veteran community. Like we're dealing with the highest risk group because we're dealing with people who are like having suicide ideations, have had legit suicide attempts. I mean, we have one guy, Marine Corps Master Gunnery Sergeant, who jumped 7 stories out of a window in front of his wife to kill himself, and he missed the pavement by a foot, shattered all his legs, and he came to us 2 days out of the hospital, and now he's one of our instructors.
Wow.
I mean, these are the kind of people that we have coming to the program.
There's a tendency, I think, for a lot of those stories to fall on deaf ears, but what you're saying is so true. These guys know at the end of the week, if they don't get the help, that's it. Yeah. I mean, and I love what you said earlier. They're not worried about COVID-19.
No,
they're not worried about getting
that.
sick, the flu, or some Chinese virus, China. They're not worried about that.
Well, first of all, the demographic of people that we serve.
Yeah.
Even if they got sick, they're not going to die.
Right.
I mean, I think the mortality rate of COVID's come down. I think it just went below a hangnail.
Yeah. That's exactly right. They're starting to get pissed off now because they can't do the clinical trials on vaccines and stuff because they don't have anybody to try stuff on because there's too many people not getting it anymore because everywhere's not New York City. So.
I mean, if our guys get it,
they've survived.
They've survived, yeah.
Ain't no China virus gonna bring you down. Like I've always said, I've messed around with enough people of loose morals. Picking my nose ain't gonna kill me. So hang on a second, we'll be right back. I totally messed up the website a little while ago when you said it. Faith-based
Veterans Service Alliance.
Veterans Service Alliance. So FBVSA.
You got it, yeah.
Foxtrot Bravo Victor Sierra Alpha.org.
.org, yeah.
Yeah, FBVSA. I'm going to keep messing it up, Chad.
I did for like the first week, and I said it over and over and over. You
just look at the bottom of the screen right now.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Yeah. But also, if you want to take the pressure off of Chad, because I know that our listeners and viewers love you because you've been on the show a couple of times already, and you're always welcome here. But help him with Mighty Oaks. That's the deal. I can't believe in an organization more than what I do in Mighty Oaks. I mean, I've seen you guys up close, personal, behind the scenes, and you're doing the stuff, and it's real. And I remember when we did that big event down there in, what was it, Houston?
Houston, yeah. Me, you, Dan Crenshaw, Jeremy.
Yeah. Crenshaw's going to make something of himself one day. And I remember just watching your attitude through the whole thing because you had that crowd of people in there. And, I mean, you were like, man, I hope this is successul. Yeah.
We raised like $350,000 that night.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. I was glad
I was all the MC. It was the MC.
It's all because of the MC. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that, Steve? You know what's up. You know what's up. After what happened to Alan West the other day, after emceeing that deal down at the state capitol, I may not ever MC anything ever again.
I'm going to stay the night and not drive home right after.
No, that's what I did. They want me to ride down there on a motorcycle. I said, I don't think so. My bike days are over with.
Helicopters, motorcycles.
Yeah, I don't do helicopters either, man. Will you get on a helicopter? Will you still do helicopters?
Oh, I would, but only if I needed to. Like,
I would have to be getting rescued.
I've crashed once in a CH-46.
Yeah,
the twin prop.
Yeah.
So
people are like, well, he's crashed once, he won't ever crash again. I know somebody that's wrecked 3. Yeah. So trust me when I tell you, they fly in spite of themselves.
Flying it?
Huh? No, it's been too long. FBVSA. Did I get it right?
.org.
.org. Mighty Oaks Programs.org.
That's right.
Get on there. You can Google them. You guys aren't stupid. Thanks, Chad, for coming on. I love you. Love your wife. Love your kids. Love y'all. God bless you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Talk to you next time. Bye.